Hello, this is Ian, Somerset News Network. Nigel Farage has just held a press conference and said he's going to deport the illegal boat people, the dinghy guys that come over that we pick up, that the government have paid a contract to a private company to look after them to make a profit. And it's our taxpayers' money that's paying for it. What they're using is the European Court of Human Rights. Then they're migrants, they're asylum seekers, and they got a right to stay here. Also means that they can always bring their family, their mothers, their fathers, their wives, their kids, if they've got any. So if we've got almost 1 million illegals now, it's definitely 500,000. Because there's the ones that aren't documented, mind. You look at in town, all the people living on the streets and that, and the ghettos that are being set up in tents. They're all legal immigrants, and they're all working on the black market. Now, if you come into this country illegally, it's a crime. Full stop. It's illegal to enter a country without permission. That's it. Now, we've always welcomed refugees, real refugees from trouble zones in the world. We welcome the Ugandans. We welcome the Sikhs and Hindus from India in 1947. We had the Jewish people in 1938, 1939, when Hitler took over Germany. I've got no problems with that. I've got no problems with that at all. That's what we do. But because of the European Court of Human Rights, and because we were the EU, and because our government's weak, they think it's a good idea. As to start with, there was a PR thing going on, that we needed doctors and nurses and people from abroad to do the jobs. The only problem is, because they're illegal, they're not allowed to work. So the only work they can get is on the black market. So we're paying them, paying their hotel bills, feeding them, looking after them, paying their medical bills, and they're going out on the black market working. How much are they earning? Are they paying tax, national insurance? Can't pay national insurance, haven't got a national insurance number. It's all a criminal exercise. It's all a scam. And Nigel Farage is right that it's got to stop, and we've got to have mass deportation. I've got no problems with that either. They come illegally to scam us. They can go back home, thank you very much. Now, let's look at things. I am making an opinion under the freedom of speech and debate under the Bill of Rights. There we are, that's what it says. Now, people, as soon as I say this, it's only for MPs. But if you take a newspaper to court and they cry freedom of speech, it goes directly to the Supreme Court, which is the Law Lords, which would have sat in Parliament but now sits in their own court outside. So that goes to the Supreme Court without going through the lower courts. So the Bill of Rights applies to newspapers. Well, if it applies to MPs and applies to newspaper, it therefore must apply to all, because nobody can be above the law, and the law's got to be equal. We've all got to be equal within the law, so it must apply to us. It's logic. And the important thing is the or in between freedom of speech and debate or proceedings in Parliament. That splits it into two parts. If you read the Firearms Act and Countryside Act like I do, 1968, then the or splits the section up. If it's an and, it joins it together. And these two parts are not joined together. Anyway, that's the freedom of speech, and that's why I'm saying this for debate. Now, let's go on to the European Court of Human Rights. Now, my argument is that the government at the time who signed the European Court of Human Rights had no right to do it because of the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights says that no foreign power can rule over us. Here is what it says. Now, this was written in 1688. It would need to be put in more modern language so most people can understand it. I'm not going to say I fully understand, but the basic principle is that no foreign power can rule over us. So the European Court of Human Rights is null and void. And if Farage uses that, game over. He can send them back if he wants to. It's quite simple. You get an illegal in, you process them. They got two choices. Fined and imprisoned for entering the country illegally. Full stop. Or free ticket back home. Their choice. They can either go to prison for illegal entry to the country, or they can go back home. That's it. No ifs, but maybes, whatever. They can't earn any money. They won't be given money. Because at the moment they're giving something like £57 a week, which is unemployment. But how can you pay unemployment to somebody that isn't a citizen of the country? They're not refugees. They're economic migrants. They're illegal economic migrants. And that's it. The European Court of Human Rights becomes invalid if you read the Bill of Rights. That's all I wanted to say.